Saquon goes for over 200 yards. Is it even possible to overstate what Saquon has meant to this team?
Absolutely not. This guy came out here in a snow game, and one thing I thought was bizarre, I'll just say off the top, everybody was struggling to have their footing. Somehow Saquon's fine, just cutting up, burning everybody, didn't look slow at all. But Hurts, again, didn't have the best day, especially throwing the football. And also, we'll see how his leg is. I didn't think he was as mobile once that knee injury. And Saquon said, no problem, I'll just absolutely gash this team. He came out here, ran for 205. Guess who their second leading receiver was today? Saquon, 27. Believe 4 targets, 4 catches. I mean, he's smacking himself on the helmet running in here as he puts the final dagger in the LA Rams. Put the team on his back. You gotta love it. He can run in between the tackles. He's got the breakaway speed. He makes people miss. It's unbelievable how great of a year this man's had. The only thing I'm slightly upset with him about is that he didn't, I know it even wasn't even him, but it just would have been cool if he could have played the last game and broke the all-time season rushing record as well.
That would have been cool, yeah.
He had a casual 205 today.
Yeah, it's wild.
In a snow game where they knew they were going to run the ball.
Listen, Jalen Hurts ran for 70 yards, but as you mentioned, he only passed for 128 yards. Therefore, are you concerned? And then you add the potential injury on top of that. You're going against Jayden Daniels, who looks fearless and super comfortable in the pocket. How do you feel?
Jay, if he's not mobile, I am concerned. If he's not mobile, I think that's a big part of his game, especially extending plays, even if they're throwing the football. To me, Jalen today, there's just moments here. Again, 3rd and 6. We're sitting in here. We're not really processing the game. We don't escape. We take a sack. 2nd and 8. You're in fringe territory. And we take an easy sack here, and we lose the ball. Very poor ball security. Shout out Gainwell for jumping on that thing. Again, we're in fringe territory. 2nd and 15. Can't do it. We lose a couple more yards, make the field goal a little tougher. That was the knee injury. He just doesn't process the game super well, and this was tough. You cannot take a safety here. I know we get beat up front, but we've got to be able, especially a guy like him, get out of the pocket there, throw the ball away, live to see another play. Obviously, they're favored here, as they should be. They are a better team than the Commanders, but Jayden Daniels right now, Team of Destiny style guy out there in Washington.
Oh man!
So
look at this.
I am a bit concerned about Jalen Hurts, though.
Can you imagine if the Washington Commanders make it to the Super Bowl? They drafted 2nd overall last year. Yes. They had a new GM, new head coach, new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator. Everything's new.
It's one of the biggest Cinderella stories.
It's wild.
Right now, let alone if they win next week.
Let's talk about the Rams. Their season is over. Matthew Stafford actually restructured his contract to help the Rams out, bring in some more players. But because of that, the Rams could potentially cut him this offseason and owe him $0. Do you think it's possible Matt Stafford's played his last game as an LA Ram?
I don't, because I don't know why they would even consider doing that. Who are they going to go get?
Right. There's no one.
Are they going to try and get Sam Darnold in free agency over Matthew Stafford? The issue today was simply not Matthew. I mean, the no-look throw here to start the game before it was a blizzard was unbelievable. They made a lot of mistakes that had nothing to do with Matthew Stafford today. That's what I'll say. He can sling it. The 2-minute drives are unbelievable. The whole ordeal. I just sit here and I say to myself, you got a very, very young defense. Very young defense. And they played well. Today, they obviously gave up a ton on the ground, but they played well last week. They had moments today. I think they're just going to get better. Matthew Stafford is a premier pocket passing guy. He's going to be a great quarterback next year. This team just won the division. The idea you would cut Matthew Stafford seems absurd.
You have Nakua.
Yes.
Kupp is still playing.
And
you've got weapons there.
Yes, Kupp is still playing. Higbee came back off injury and looked good. You know, they signed Colby Parkinson as that 2 tight end, who's a very good receiving tight end. Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, the backup running back. This team should be loaded next year to take the next step and make a deeper run.